Welcome to A Call for Judgment, everybody. Today's show, I want to talk about another person who's come out as a witch, and we're not supposed to be surprised, of course, right? Because all these people in Hollywood, all these models who are famous, these athletes who are famous, who just have billions of dollars and, more importantly, influence over the minds of the dumbed down masses who worship these false idols. Gisele Bündchen. Now, I've mentioned this before about Gisele Bündchen, him, her, whatever you want to say this is, in regards to witchcraft with Tom Brady. Well, now Gisele, divorced from Tom Brady, is coming out and saying and admitting that she's actually a witch. And we've become so desensitized in this society that people are just like, yeah, okay, she's a witch. What's the big deal, right? We've only been warning people about witches being out there and Satanists being out there, about how they've been indoctrinating everybody with sorcery and witchcraft for all these years to normalize it. And people still think that witches don't actually exist. Well, they come out and they tell you. Lana Del Rey, most of these celebrities in Hollywood and the music industry come out and admit that they're witches. You even see them performing rituals on stage, but still it's not enough for people to actually realize that they're witches. So maybe like 10 years from now, if we're still here and we're not, the trumpets don't sound, maybe by then when they're seeing them actually committing human sacrifice on national TV and in their music videos and in their, all over the place on their Instagram accounts, maybe then people will realize that everything we've been saying is true. Oh, right, they will then realize it, but they still won't care because they'll be so desensitized in 10 years, look at where we are in today's society, that when they see them perform a ritual murder or sacrifice, they'll say that the person deserved it. Or they'll say, it's just, let them be who they are. I mean, look where we are now with castration in today's society. Nobody would have thought 10 years ago that this craziness would be going on. So Gisele Bündchen is letting everyone know that she's a witch. And as most of these witches do, they make light of it. And they talk about using crystals and speaking to the dead and all that stuff. But let me play the clip if you don't remember, from a few years ago, because it's now obviously long removed from YouTube, of Tom Brady when he was talking about his wife at the time, Gisele, before the Super Bowl, how he was getting ready for the game. And, she was doing witchcraft and crystals and building an altar, all normal stuff in today's world.
Any superstitions going into the game? Any special thing you carried into the game on Sunday that you had tucked away somewhere?
I did. I always, I've learned a lot from my wife over the years. She's so about the power of intention, and believing things that are really going to happen. And she always makes a little altar for me at the game because she just wills it so much. And so she put together a little altar for me that I could bring with pictures of my kids. And I have these little special stones and healing stones and protection stones. And she has me wear a necklace and take these drops she makes. And I say all these mantras. And I stopped questioning her a long time ago. I did. I just shut up and listened. And at first I was like, this is kind of crazy. And then about 4 years ago, we were playing the Seahawks, and she said, you better listen to me. This is your year, but this is all the things you're going to have to do to win. And I did all those things, and by God, it worked. It was pretty good. And then in 2015, it was about early January, and she said, you know how much I love you? And I said, yeah. And she said, I just want to let you know this is not going to be your year. Oh. And of course, we lost. I said, what does 16 look like? And she said, 16 is going to be your year. So it was early January this year, and I said, babe, asking, do we have a chance? And she said, yeah, but you're going to have to do a lot of work, and you're really going to have to listen to me. So, man, I listened to her. And right after the game, she said, see, I did a lot of work. You do your work, I do mine. She said, you're lucky you married a witch. I'm just a good witch.
So these are normal things, right? Still, nobody wants to see that we're surrounded by witches. That the majority of these people who are heads of corporations, that are heads of Hollywood, who are heads of corporate media, that all of these people are Satanists, okay? And they're herding society into living the do what thou wilt mindset. They're herding society and desensitizing society into actually becoming practicing sorcerers and witches and Satanists. Yet they tell you that in society that the Christians are the ones reigning supreme, and the majority of churches out there don't sound the trumpet. They don't sound the trumpet, don't sound the alarm. They don't let the people in their congregations or in their churches know what's going on with the wicked because they don't want to focus on the wicked, because they don't realize that these people live amongst us and they don't seem to take the Bible as literal as they should take it. So Gisele Bündchen comes out, 42-year-old supermodel, they claim, is making a new name for her/himself as the Witch of Love. Bündchen said in a Vanity Fair profile, the Brazilian beauty gave the interview from her Costa Rican home, during which an injured robin that she had been nursing dropped a little poo-poo on her seat pillow. I bet she liked it, because if you read a lot of the stuff in the occult, they seem to like rolling around in that. But anyway, Bündchen continued, maybe she ate it. Bündchen continued, I mean, these people do eat insects, they do eat humans, so Bündchen continued to cradle the wounded bird while speaking to the magazine, revealing that she often communicates with birds, squirrels, and butterflies. He says it's an omen. The nature whisperer gushed as the dazed creature sprang back to life. Maybe he's going to fly. He needed to release. The bird's broken wing is seemingly a metaphor for the mother of two. I don't want to be limited, she says. I want to spread my wings and fly. Oh, okay, let's continue. She says, I mean, it's so amazing how they word this stuff. All right, so the catwalk queen recently divorced NFL star Tom Brady after 13 years. Bündchen also showed off some of her energetic crystals, including hunks of purple, amethyst. I don't even know what this word is. Amethyst. It's a rock, but anyway, and white selenite, which she claims clears energy. Alongside the rock, she keeps a deck of oracle cards inspired by Buddhism's goddess of mercy and compassion, placed on her bedside table. Indeed, Bündchen drew a card from the tarot-like deck, one that signified dynasty of the Divine Mother, a phrase that helps her look to what is happening in your life. She said, this is why they called me a witch, I guess, if you want to call me a witch, because I love astrology, I love crystals, I pray, and I believe in the power of nature. Then go ahead, call me a witch, Bündchen says. Well, you don't have to worry about it, because I'll do more than call you a witch. I'll tell you you're a witch. And that's what is going on in today's society. These people are coming out. They're openly admitting they're witches. Nobody cares. And then they poo-poo it, which, of course, she was poo-pooed on, which is ironic. They poo-poo it and they go, well, we're, using rocks and crystals and using astrology and oracle cards as witchcraft. Yeah, it is. Just like how they normalize going to psychics and mediums is witchcraft and sorcery. Just like in the Bible, how it's mentioned not to partake in it. In Leviticus chapter 19, verse 31, do not turn to mediums or seek our spiritists, for you will be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. In Leviticus chapter 20, verse 6, I will set my face against anyone who turns to mediums and spiritists to prostitute themselves by following them, and I will cut them off from their people. There's many verses about partaking in it, right? Leviticus chapter 20, verse 27, a man or woman who is a medium or spiritist among you must be put to death. You are to stone them. Their blood will be on their own heads. No? Anybody? Revelation chapter 18, verse 23, the light of a lamp will never shine in you again. The voice of bridegroom and bride will never be heard in you again. Your merchants were the world's important people. By your magic spell, all the nations were led astray. So magic is surrounding us all over. You just don't hear enough Christians talking about the wicked and the evil. And you hear, that's why I've dealt with over the years is so many Christians. And I don't claim to be a ministry. I don't claim to be anything special because I'm not. I'm a sinner. I'm flawed. But they come over here and they're so lukewarmed up. They're like, listen to this guy. Why don't you spread the good news? Well, many churches spread the good news. Why don't we call out the wickedness that's going on? Why is that so bad? Is it because they've weakened society so much that nobody wants to point out the evil? I know it's a lot to take in. I know it's a burden. I know it's stressful. I know it can cause depression and anxiety. I've dealt with those things many times, still do. But most of the Bible is calling out the evil and the wickedness, but you just never hear it in churches. You never hear enough people talking about it. So when these celebrities come out, what they do is they normalize what are, medium practices, right? Like oracle cards, magic cards, crystals, and how many, we see Christians with that stuff in their homes. How many celebrities you see on these reality TV shows that have Buddha statues in their home? Right? Never see Buddha made fun of on TV or anywhere. Only Jesus gets made fun of, right? And then they like to, it's not a big deal. They've normalized all this stuff. People are so desensitized that these people are actually coming out now and talking about it. I just covered Taylor Swift, that video I don't know where it is. I think it's on the website, but I just covered Taylor Swift. What did we hear Taylor Swift do? Oh, we saw Taylor Swift perform a ritual on stage. We heard people in the crowd yelling, "Bring on the demons, summon the demons, we want the demons," inside of a giant magic circle. Oh, but it's just a circle. It's just a show, right, ladies and gentlemen? Just seeing it over and over and over again from all these celebrities, all of these communist celebrities, all these celebrities of the same political ideologies that want to enslave you in Satan's beast system. And they come out and they're like, "Oh yeah, call me a witch. I like astrology. Call me a witch. Poo-poo it, poo-poo it." Let's normalize other things like that are involved in spirituality and witchcraft, like yoga. And then call people crazy who question that. Meanwhile, they're not even just doing yoga normally anymore, which of course they've taken from so many different teachings, including Aleister Crowley. They're doing yoga with goats on their back. So, don't even dare think to ask questions about that, or you're, some type of conspiracy theorist. So, not that Gisele Bündchen is important in any way. Not that Gisele Bündchen, that people don't already know, but every time one of these people comes out and they just go, "Yeah, I'm a witch," it should be noted. Because then you just keep a track record of these people. Madonna's come out. They all come out. They don't just show you with signs and symbols anymore. Remember the days where it was just like, wait a minute. Madonna's dressed as the Baphomet. Beyonce's dressed as the Baphomet. They have Saturn earrings. They're doing all-seeing eye symbols. They're holding up the pyramid. Oh no. Now they're just coming out going, "Hey, I'm a witch." And people just continue to go about their days. Not day like as in their day. Days. D-A-Z-E. In a daze. Walking around with 5G glaring in their heads, not thinking, not processing. Wait a minute, what? There actually are witches? And they're real? And wait, they've been normalizing all this witchcraft practice, and then all these things they show kids through Harry Potter and every single Disney movies about magic and kingdoms and witchcraft and sorcery. But we're all still conspiracy theorists, right? Give me a break. I thank everyone for being here. Hope you're doing well. God bless you and your families.